G'day, folks. Today is Thursday, the 13th of November, and for the next hour, we're going to cover the latest and greatest from the world of AI. We're going to cover some news, we're going to cover some leaks, we're going to cover some product updates. So, without further ado, let's tuck into it. The first article we have today is from, I think it's from OpenAI. Bear with me. It is from OpenAI. Here we go. So, GPT 5.1 is here, and it was a sneak release. Here's the blog post. GPT 5.1, a smarter, more conversational ChatGPT. We're upgrading GPT-5 while making it easier to customize ChatGPT, starting to roll out today to everyone, beginning with paid users. So, one sec, let me get rid of this on screen. This. Okay, today we're upgrading GPT-5 series with the release of GPT 5.1 Instant, our most used model, now warmer, more intelligent, and better at following your instructions. GPT 5.1 Thinking, our advanced reasoning model, now easier to understand and faster on simple tasks, more persistent on complex ones. We heard clearly from users that great AI should not only be smart but also enjoyable to talk to. This was following like the backlash where people got shifted or force shifted away from 4.0, which I think they're actually trying to deprecate, but people try pushing back on them getting rid of it. So now they're trying to warm up their new models so people will shift over and then they can get rid of the old one, because at the moment the old one is actually sticking around. I don't think that's something they actually want to happen. Just plugged in a little bit of extra light. So here is the bit of a breakdown. We heard clearly from users that great AI should not only be smart, but also enjoyable to talk to. No shit. GPT 5.1 improves meaningfully on both intelligence and communication style. We'll also make it easy for you to shape ChatGPT's tone. Preferences on chat style vary from person to person, even from conversation to conversation. So we're introducing more intuitive and effective controls so ChatGPT can better match the tone you want in responses. So that was actually a pretty big thing, to be honest. There was all of like the companion apps, I think, were actually built with GPT 4.0 as one of the most popular. So when people got pushed off it, they were not very happy, which was actually pretty crazy to see. You always think like new models are going to replace the old ones, but they can't get off 4.0. They're going to have to force deprecate it at some point, but they're not too keen to do it without users kicking off. GPT 5.1 Instant is ChatGPT's most used model. It's now warmer by default and more conversational based on early testing. It often surprises people with its playfulness while remaining clear and useful. If you've ever spoken to a model like Grok, you know how different the responses can be depending on which AI model you use. So this hopefully, or for them, is going to try and bridge the gap. You can see some examples in the blog post here. You can say, I'm feeling stressed, can use some relaxation tips. Here are a few simple, effective ways to help ease stress. And then he goes on to list them. GPT 5.1 Instant says, I've got you, Ron. It's totally normal, especially with everything you got going on lately. Here are a few ways to decompress depending on what kind of stress you're feeling. Much better response. I think this is going to be great for, say, if you're building like AI assistants or companions, then yeah, that's the one you want. Again, understood, respond in 6. Where should I travel this summer? Consider Japan. Whereas this is kind of more rigid. Then you've got GPT 5.1 Thinking, which comes in across all benchmarks pretty good. We don't need to go into too much detail there, but it's a brand new thinking model, which packs a punch. We had Kimi Moonshot K2 Thinking come out, I think, last week or this week, actually. I think a couple of days ago, which pushed the boundaries on it. And I think that's a really good model too for like natural sounding responses. So maybe this 5.1 Thinking comes up against that. I don't know if there's a chart comparing them. No. If you scroll down, see if there's anything else. There is. You can now make ChatGPT uniquely yours. Alongside these model improvements, they've made it easier to customize ChatGPT's tone and style. People have strong and varied preferences in how ChatGPT should respond, tailoring its tone to what sounds right for you and feels effortless. So they've added some new preset options here to tailor how ChatGPT responds to you. So in this list, you've got default, balanced, you've got professional, friendly, candid, quirky, efficient, nerdy, cynical, and you can add some more personalization details to ChatGPT too, which people like. You can then apply that across all models too, which is good. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this post. So we've got now new models from OpenAI, GPT 5.1, both normal or instant, and also thinking. ChatGPT or OpenAI are having some struggles with a lawsuit they're trying to fight. They want to basically stop some of the, or a lot of the chats or the data getting released to the people who are pursuing them, and it's not going very well. So it said, fighting the New York Times invasion of user privacy. Trust and privacy guide every, let me just make this bigger. Trust and privacy guide every product and decision we make. Each week, 800 million people use ChatGPT to think, learn, create, and handle some of the most personal parts of their lives. People entrust us with sensitive conversations, files, credentials, memories, searches, payment information, and AI agents that act on their behalf. So they're getting a load of data. That's the TLDR. But because they're in a big court case at the moment, the New York Times is demanding that we turn over 20 million of your private ChatGPT conversations. They claim they might find examples of using ChatGPT to try and get around their paywall. Okay. So if articles have got like a paywall in front of them, you can sometimes use, I'm not going to tell you which, different AIs to get around them. They've tried to do this before. Originally, the Times wanted you to lose the ability to delete your private chats. We fought that and restored your right to remove them. Then they demanded we turn over 1.4 billion of your private GPT conversations. We pushed back, and we're pushing back again now. Okay, so this demand from the New York Times kind of goes over that, and they're kind of at battle now with journalists in general. We all know that OpenAI and other AI companies trained on the data all over the internet, and they're now butting heads because of it. They said, however, if the Times succeeds in their demands, we'll be forced to hand over the very same data we're protecting, your data, to third parties, including the Times lawyers and paid consultants. Okay. There's some Q&A here too. You can find this on the blog page of OpenAI if you want to read into more details. But yeah, there's a back and forth of them. The 20 million chats are a random sample. It does not affect ChatGPT Enterprise, Edu, Business customers, or API customers. So they're fighting on our behalf, or whoever uses behalf, to retain the data, but publishers aren't happy and they're going for the jugular, it seems. Anthropic invests 50 billion in American AI infrastructure. We've seen more and more big multi-billion-dollar commitments from all these big AI labs, and now Anthropic are getting in on the game. Here's a quick story. They're announcing a $50 billion investment in American computing infrastructure to build data centers with FluidStack in Texas and New York, with more sites to come. These facilities are custom built for Anthropic with a focus on maximizing efficiency for our workloads, enabling continued research and development at the frontier. So everyone needs more compute. Everyone needs more inference. Anthropic have got the most business customers out there, so they've got a very accurate, I guess, gauge on demand, because there's a lot of API business customers, and that revenue, I guess, will be more predictable in terms of usage than maybe consumer. I don't know, perhaps. But now they're pushing ahead and doing big multi-billion commitments into infrastructure. Project's going to create 800 permanent jobs and 2,400 construction jobs, with sites coming online through 2026, and will help advance the goals of Trump administration's AI action plan to maintain AI American leadership and strengthen domestic technology infrastructure. So here's a quote quickly from Dario. It says, we're getting closer to AI that can accelerate scientific discovery. We've seen a few AI scientist startups actually making some progress and making some real new knowledge in terms of discoveries, and help solve complex problems in ways that weren't possible before. Realizing that potential requires infrastructure that can support continued development at the frontier. I guess one part of this is also tasks for agents that can run for a long time, and that takes significantly more compute. So they're going to need to make more investments. These sites will help us build more capable AI systems that can drive those breakthroughs while creating American jobs. Yes, goes on to talk about the 300,000 business customers and a number of large accounts. And yeah, congrats to Fluid Stack on the partnership. The battle between American models, or let's say Western models, and Chinese models continues. ByteDance's Volcano engine debuts coding agent at $1.3 promo price. Let me say it again. I don't know why it's $1.3. Maybe that's just like the conversion rate. It's kind of awkward. ByteDance's Volcano engine debuts coding agent at $1.3 promo price. So Volcano Engine, the cloud division of ByteDance, has launched a new coding agent called Dubao Seed Code, priced at $1 for the first month. The standard monthly subscription fee will rise to $5 after the initial promotion, which began on November the 11th, Singles Day in China. So we've seen a lot of demand, obviously, in and this is Azure V, CLI, Cursor, and Klein to be used with APIs including Anthropic's. The model can process up to 256,000 words per query, allowing it to tackle large code bases. It's now integrated into Singapore-based coding app Tray. It's like a Cursor equivalent. After ByteDance cut off access to Anthropic's Claude models, following their recent service restrictions that affected subsidiaries of Chinese firms. This model scored 78.8% on SweBench Verify benchmark, so it's up there. I don't know if it's state of the art, but it's definitely up there. Chinese AI firms, including Moonshot and AI and Minimax, have recently released the new models to the mid-surging competition in the country's AI developer tools sector. Okay, pretty crazy indeed, actually. These AI models are getting a lot better out of China for sure. I wanted to share something with you. It's about upskilling your team. A lot of developers, probably in different countries too, are actually not upskilling in AI in general. It could be coding agents, it could be engineers, it could be admin staff, it could be HR. And the real way to do that is actually to partner up with a company like Go9X, and they basically help you upskill all of your team in AI. They help you write better prompts, build AI agents, and how to overall leverage AI at work. So if you want to get involved in helping upskill your team, you can do that with Go9X. It's go9x.com. So we've got this leak. Again, this was from 5.1 OpenAI release to all users. The Polaris Alpha model, it excels in creative writing. Thinking varies its thinking more dynamically. I wanted to share this because this site is actually very good. It's testingcatalog.com. If you don't know, OpenAI is rolling out as OpenAI rolls out new features, or anyone else rolls out new features, they basically do a lot of coverage on it. Here is the creative writing benchmark from Rune. Let me just zoom in. That's a bit better. Yeah, here we go. So creative writing V3, Polaris Alpha, which was basically the testing name in all the testing arenas for 5.1, wins the ELO score. So it beats 4.5, it beats 03, beats Kimi K2 Instruct. I thought Kimi would be slightly better, although it's not far, it's fourth. But apparently it's top. He's got a 2.3 slop score, a 2.7 repetition score, pretty decent length, a Rubik score of 83, overall score of 1747. So this is emotional intelligence benchmarks for LLMs. Still only the thinking model, by the way. Yeah, that's cool. Is there any other stuff in here? 8 unique chat styles. We covered that before. Yeah, let's have a look and see if Testing Catalog News has got anything else. This is, I don't know why this is still featured. This is from a long time ago. Ooh, this is good. So Perplexity looks like it's going to be adding Kimi K2 thinking model soon. Already is K2 thinking with the reasoning toggle, latency research, and sonar model revisions hint at upcoming upgrades. So it's appeared in some menu bars, but it's not been released. And you've got a reasoning and thinking toggle there. But yeah, this is a really good model. It's very natural language sounding too, so it's easy to chat with and prompt with. It sounds good. What was the next story I had? Okay, here we go. Fei Li, the co-founder of World Labs, released their new model. Let me just see. I didn't know if I had a blog post about it. Let me just see. I think there was another post. Here we go. So, introducing Marble by World Labs, a foundation for spatially intelligent future. We've got some sound. We'll watch the video and we'll dive into exactly what it is, because these world models actually full creative space that you can step into, and everything is generated, including video, sound, experience, VR, is all generated by AI. These are actually getting better really, really fast. And this is the latest release from World Labs.
Finally, I thought you bailed again.
Please, I wouldn't miss this.
Cut! Thanks, everyone. I think we got it. All right, let's reset to the next world.
Crazy. So this is World Labs. Marble is the first product from World Labs and is powered by our multimodal world model, which lets anyone create high-fidelity, persistent 3D worlds from just a single image, video, text prompt, or 3D layout. So you've got image to world, auto layout, multi-image to world. So you just snap. Whoa, that's insane. Imagine if you just had, you can just take pictures of a house and create a whole world for it. Sculpting worlds in 3D, combine multiple worlds. Real estate agents, absolutely loving life right now. Take a load of pictures of a house, stitch them together, and then you can create the, what's it called? Multi-image to world? Yeah, multi-image to world. Auto layout, multi-image to world. So you just add the photos and it figures out how to stitch them together. That's insane. If you want to read more about the vision, you can do. It's on the blog. The website is worldlabs.ai. World Labs, spatial intelligence, click to explore, and you can basically just dive into a world. Let me just share this. Stylize all 3D worlds, and you can basically just hop into the world itself and navigate it. So now we're in. You can imagine a new world after sign in. You can open it in VR. You can move around with controls. Absolute insanity. Okay, imagine when you can just add like people or character consistency in there too. The fidelity, I guess, over time is going to be insane. So kudos to World Labs. That looks absolutely immense. Here's one use case for a lot of people who are concerned about privacy. So we speak to companies where they're like, okay, we see all these flashy AI demos, but really we're not sure where this data goes. We'd rather use local models rather than models that are potentially going to train all the information. There's a product that solves this. You can, of course, do this with other products like LM Studio or Llama, or like a Llama plugged into like a Stack AI. for instance, but here is a dedicated startup, dedicated product to do exactly that. It's called Hyperlink, fully offline AI that searches all your documents without sending a single byte to the cloud. No OpenAI, no Google, no data leaks. Here's how.
Hi, I'm Alex from Nexa AI. Ever feel like your computer is too dumb? It has all your files but doesn't know what's inside. And too many times, it can't find that one thing you know you saved. Cloud AI can't fix it. You give up your privacy, hit file limits, and spend forever uploading. That's not gonna work. It's time for a revolution. Meet Hyperlink, the first AI super assistant that lives inside your computer, built for your files. 100% private, local, offline. Show me the penalty clause from my client's contract. In seconds, Hyperlink searches thousands of files on your computer using natural language and surfaces the answer, with inline citations that link straight to the relevant document sections. Summarize my receipts from my Vegas trip. Hyperlink can read text inside photos, screenshots, and scans, turning every image on your computer into searchable knowledge. At Obsidian, what's my takeaway from my books about AI agents? Hyperlink looks exactly where you point, a focused, private AI workspace, with no clutter, no noise, just precise answers. Other tools hit limits. Hyperlink doesn't. It syncs unlimited context across unlimited files with agentic RAG, with retrieval quality rivaling the best cloud AI apps, all while staying fully local, private, and free of token limits. No more lost files, no more endless searches. For the first time, your computer truly understands your documents, thinks with you, while keeping your data only yours. This is not another search engine. It's a new UI to interact with your computer, powered by local AI agents. Download Hyperlink and rediscover the knowledge hiding in your own files.
Okay, it's pretty cool. I think a lot of it is actually things that you can do with other products for sure. So uploading information and searching it, but I think the key here is actually the privacy. I don't know if they've got something which is more accurate at retrieving information, but yeah, looks like a nice product. Looks like what we'd expect from a tool like this. But the fact that it is local and private is always good. But yeah, here you go. Here's a link: hyperlink.nexa.ai. Okay. This was an interesting post from Surge AI, the famous data labeling company. Everyone's acting like models are ready to replace humans in work settings. We put that to the test by creating an entire company and having 9 models act as a customer service agent handling 150 tickets and requests of increasing complexity. The verdict: without common sense, models are nowhere near ready. Okay, so all the AI job doomers, anyone worried about it, don't worry. You still might have time to pivot your career into something else. So RL environments stands for reinforcement learning and the hierarchy of agentic capability. You've got human level, strong agent, weak agent, chatbot with tool access. Okay. Up at the top, GPT-5, then you've got Sonnet 4.5, Kimi 2, and then Quen and Gemini kind of down here, and then some at the bottom. If you wanted to read this post, you don't have to go through too much here, but the general outtake is that you can't even see what I'm showing you. Here we go. Here's the post, Surge AI. Here is that pyramid with GPT-5 at the top. So 2025 has been the year of agents, with AI moving out of the chat box and into the real world. But are we really close to having generally intelligent agents, or are they still a decade away? The trillion-dollar question: how much economically useful work can these agents actually do? To answer that, training evaluation models have shifted from rating individual responses to assessing multi-step tasks with tool use. Okay, so find the emails, take an action, download the documents, research the knowledge base, and then send a response, for instance. Well, they did. They hired 9 AI models to perform 150 tasks in one of our RL environments. These were the results. GPT-5, the best recorded results, only did 58%-ish. They failed over 40% of agentic tasks in one of the environments. So even though GPT-5 and Claude Sonnet 4.5 are in a league of their own, they still failed over 40% of tasks. Okay. It's not good. It's not kind of that reliable. You still need a lot of humans in the loop to make it truly effective. It obviously depends on the complexity. But we're not going to go through the whole blog post, but you can read it if you want. It's actually a very good read. It talks about how to successfully basic agent tasks, a model needs to be able to do a few things. Take a multi-step task and break it down into mini objectives. Identify which relevant tool for each mini objective and the order in which they should be used. Map the available information to the correct tool arguments. Execute the plan step by step without getting derailed or forgetting anything. So this is kind of passing the information from one tool to another without getting caught in a loop, without breaking. And this is actually very rare. So they found the weaker models were not able to reliably achieve these four things, meaning that even simple agentic tasks were a roll of the dice, which isn't great, especially in like business environments. In one task, all three models made basic tool errors, failing to map prompt information into tool arguments sensibly, or just failing to correctly follow the MCP schema. Okay, that's it. That's it. You can read it on Sergio's website. It's on the blog. It's called RL Ends Real World, published November the 3rd, but it was a good thing to read for sure. Here's an interesting blog post from Alex Albert, who's Claude Relations Anthropic AI, DevRel. It turns out you can eliminate the purple LLM slop design aesthetic with good prompting and Claude skills. We wrote a short blog post on it with more details. So if you've ever generated a website with AI, you always get these blue and purple gradients, which are commonplace, and they're actually quite difficult to get rid of. They've written a blog post on Claude, and here are some tips about how you can actually get rid of them. They've got a cheat sheet. So they first explain skills, dynamic context loading to skills, a steerability change, where you basically just tell it to avoid using certain prompts or use certain background styles instead of solid colors. Results improved immediately. And then you need to kind of pack more things in. So they basically go down here and says, rather than use interesting fonts, you can actually pack some more info in here in between these brackets and say, typography instantly signals quality. Avoid using boring generic fonts. Never use Interroboto, Open Sans, Lado default system fonts. Here are some good examples of impactful fonts, impactful choices. Code aesthetics, Jet mono, editorial, technical distinctive, and then you've got a pairing principle. High contrast equals interesting, display and monospace, serif and geometric sans, variable font across weights. Use extremes. 100 to 200 versus 800 to 900, not 400 versus 600. Size jumps of 3x, not 1.5x. Okay, that's cool. Makes all the web pages stand out, the typography. So this is the output generated with a base prompt of an admin panel. Again, people would see this and it's still quite good because you couldn't create one of these before without writing code yourself. Now you can. But here is the difference of when you improve that prompt, generated with a base prompt and a typography section. That's obviously way better. Now, another dimension you can actually use to make things better is themes. So we have this. Here's an example of a good theme. Always designed with RPG aesthetics. Fantasy inspired color palettes, ornate borders, parchment textures, epic adventurous atmosphere with dramatic lighting, medieval inspired serif typography. And then you get this, okay? Then you have a general purpose font here, general purpose prompt here too. So they've brought it all together and now you have this front end aesthetics prompt, which you can use. So it says you tend to converge towards generic on distribution outputs. In front end design, this creates what users call AI slop. Avoid this, make creative, distinctive front ends that surprise and delight. Then it goes through to focus on typography, color and theme, motion, backgrounds, overused generic AI generated aesthetics. These are the overused fonts. These are the cliched color schemes. These are predictable layouts and component patterns. Cookie cutter design that lacks context specific character. Interpret creatively and make unexpected choices that feel generally designed for the context. Okay, so basically, if you were to hire a designer who thought differently, they were edgy, they come up with good outputs, they create good work, would they use all the basic fonts? Probably not. They probably create stuff that are a bit different and a bit out there. So how do they think? They've kind of put this into a prompt that you can add in for when you're building things. Here is an example of when they started giving Claude general context on the problem, what they're trying to solve, along with this general prompt improver. And this is how it impacts on front end design with this skill active. Here's a normal one. Again, you've probably seen this if you're using the free app generator. And here's a new one. Okay, so completely different, something that maybe an AI wouldn't traditionally create. Here's a blog layout. Again, pretty standard. Here we go. Here's a Thoughtful Bites, more focused blog layout. The front end skill featuring editorial typeface with atmospheric depth and refined spacing. That's nice. There's the admin dashboard. Again, much better. And you can improve the artifact quality in Claude AI with skills. If you don't know what skills are, they're basically pre-programmed prompts that you give additional information to. So almost like if you have an employee who's a specialist at one thing, you give the skill that knowledge, and then you can just do a / command and apply it and give it a prompt, and it'll apply that skill to whatever you're asking it to do. There's obviously better explanations than that out there, but that's a brief. Here's a whiteboard app, and then basic one, example 2, is when they're using the new web artifact builder skill, generated a much cleaner, more feature-rich one. Again, task manager into a task manager. There's 1 into 2. And then you can do some optimizing there too. But that's a really good blog post. Improving front-end design through skills, best practices for building richer, more customized front-end design with Claude and skills. I love how they said it was like a short blog post, but it's a nine-minute read, but worth your time indeed. Got a new product here called Fuser. It says build AI workflows in seconds. See the kind of work you can make when models actually work together across mediums. We're not the first or the last node-based tool, but we have high conviction in how we're building Fuser. This is just the beginning. Upvote us, grab the promo code on Product Hunt, leave us a comment and thoughtful review. So this is a node-based canvas, a canvas-based node builder for creative works. If you use like a comfy UI, maybe you've used a Flowith, maybe you've used a Flora, for instance. This is kind of like a combination of some elements of all those, where you can input smart nodes with chat. You can then do models that create images. Let me just pause it here. Maybe we can, it's got sound. We'll watch the full video and then we can actually just look through it, because it looks cool. There are obviously ones out there already, but we're early. That's pretty good. I think a lot of good outputs have come from really quite complicated tools, and this does simplify it a bit. It looks like that's Fuser Studio, every AI model, every medium, one canvas, public beta out now. Fuser.studio. Here is the website, your workspace for evolving ideas. Every creative needs to ship, every model, every medium, one canvas. Actually looks pretty good too. So if you're into node-based products, this could be one that'd be interesting for you. And if you're in the market for building apps and you want to build cross-platform in a very solid enterprise-grade way, then you should be using Expo. Expo.dev gives you everything you need to build apps. Full stack React Native framework with powerful cloud services to help you move faster at every stage of the app cycle. If you are vibe coding something and using Expo, devs will like you and prefer you for it than if you didn't. So yeah, use Expo. This was a really good, creative way of creating new posts. Again, influencers are going to love this. This influencer went viral for this crazy outfit, morph AI transition effect. Stuff like this is how AI is going to hit mainstream audiences. At the end of the day, everyone just wants to make cool Instagram posts. So I think this is done with AI transitions inside of an app called Veed. So you basically give it one image of you standing there in one outfit, and then you give it another image of you standing there in another outfit, and then apply the AI transition, and it gives that. And then she's obviously stitched a number of these together to create this post. But this is awesome. I want to see. I think it's Veed that this was. Let me just double check. I think they actually posted it. 1 second. Let me find it for you. But yeah, really cool. Really cool way to use it. Yeah, here's another example of it. So V transitions are here. Don't let boring transitions kill your videos. Define the start and end frame. Use templates and custom prompts. Keep viewers hooked. Comment Veed. Free guide in the DMs. So here's the starting one. Very simple, but very, very good. I like it a lot. Yeah, that's Veed. You can go and try it out at veed.io if you would like to. Okay, we've got a new drone. This is from DJI Global. Meet DJI Neo 2, a follow me camera drone. DJI Neo 2 is DJI's most compact drone equipped with omnidirectional obstacle sensing and features such as gesture control, selfie shot, and active track. For more creative ways to fly, even beginners can get started effortlessly. Think of it as your personal follow me camera drone, always ready to capture your most exciting moments. Palm takeoff and landing, faster tracking, easy moment capture with selfie shot, 4K high quality imaging, all in this tiny little beast. Let's give this a watch.
Feel my pulse start racing. I've been chasing after this dream. Then so suddenly multiplying. Oh, how would it be? So now we catching the wave, being so great. Everything counts. Then tie and loose and start to really stand out. Put in the work. Drive into your lap. Revving up. Bulldoze to the max. Just hit the tipping point. Yeah, we smash right through. Feel the rush, you know just what to do. Just hit the tipping point. The tipping point.
Hey, Fly, follow me.
Smooth operator, perfect flavor, all in the mix. Lightning, hot vibration, in rotation, everything clicks. Time to step up, como esta, yes, you're passing them all. Well, nodding, we ain't stopping now, connecting the dots. Just hit the tipping point. Yeah, we smash right through. The tipping point. the tipping point.
Pretty insane. I wonder how easy it is to run away from, if you actually didn't want it to follow you anymore. But yeah, that's insane. I wonder how much it is. Let's check. So this is the DJI Flip. Is that the right one? No, that's a different follow drone. Here we go. Okay. What? 239 euros. Okay, maybe you want to go with like the max pack, which includes some extra stuff. Oh, okay. So just the drone, no control, no batteries, no transceiver. Oh yeah, one battery, but this gets you get the goggles, you get the okay, cool. But still, all of that. How are they doing that for 579 euros? Goggles, 2 batteries, motion controller, receiver, and the drone for $579. I guess that is the beauty of scale for sure. Absolutely insane. Okay. Wild. There was one other model too, which we haven't talked about, which was a new model from called Ernie 4.5, built on the powerful Ernie 4.5 architecture, the newly upgraded thinking model, which is remarkably affordable multimodal reason capabilities. I wonder if the benchmarks are here. This is a lightweight model, only 3 billion parameters, visual reasoning, STEM reasoning, visual grounding, thinking with images, tool use, and video understanding, all in this pretty lightweight model. So that's pretty crazy. I wanted to show you today too one thing from Stack AI, because we talked about that a product that you can do. You can use local LLMs, and I can actually show you how you can do that with Stack AI. Say you're already using Stack, you're an enterprise, you're using AI automations and workflows inside of something like Stack AI, but you like the product where you want to use local models, you can actually do that in here. But first, I wanted to mention to you Firecrawl. So if you're looking to actually fetch any data across the web, you can power your AI apps with clean web data from any website using Firecrawl. You can turn websites into LLM-ready data. Go to firecrawl.dev to do that. Okay, so once you're inside of Stack AI, you can go to New Project. You need to Workflow Builder. And maybe you wanted to do something like let's say you wanted to build a super agent and you wanted it to use like a local LLM for it. So we're going to go to use template super agent local. I don't know how good. Can you run 4.1 local? I think you might be able to. Here is what you can do. We have these 3 nodes. We're going to delete this middle one because this is like a normal AI node. We're going to want a agent node. Let's put it in there. We're going to go down now and we're going to select local, AI provider for local. And then down here in advanced settings, you can, I think you can set it in here, although it might have moved somewhere else. You can set your Olama URL. Connect Stack to a local LLM. You can put an API key and an endpoint base URL. So if you've got Olama and you're running a model locally and you actually wanted to connect it into Stack AI and you didn't want your data to go off to OpenAI or whatever, then you can use this. You can use fully local LLMs. I think that is the way. There is another way that you can add it as a base connection in here too. Let's say if you went back to the home screen, you went to your connections, you added a new connection, you went local. You can connect to local LLM this way. Just add in your API key. A good one is, let's say if you wanted to start running a local, Fast needs to load. I think it's this one. This is what you want. You want to go to alarma.com and you can chat and build with open models. You can download it on your Mac. You can also download some models. You've got GPT OSS, which is OpenAI's open weight models designed for powerful reasoning, agentic tasks, and versatile developer use cases. So you can download this. It's 20 billion parameters, so it should be pretty good. You could use something like, and which other ones are good? Let's have a look. Which of these models are best for agentic use cases for, let's say, a super agent? Yeah, okay. So you've got Qwen 3 Coda, GLM 4.6. Actually very cheap, that model too. DeepSeek, Llama. But yeah, I'd probably go with GPT OSS, Qwen 3, or GLM 4.6. You can run it locally. You can then get the endpoint when it's running on your laptop, and you can serve it up through your Stack AI interface nicely. So I'll just show you exactly what that would look like. Basically, we've got a super agent here where we've got web search, browser navigation, code execution, a terminal, new search, deep research, slide creation, all these skills or tools that your agent can now use. But you wanted to maybe not use, say, GPT 4.1 on like OpenAI, for instance, or GPT-5. You wanted to run one locally. You can use local, and then you can go choose a local model, and then down at the bottom, I think in here, was it in main settings? Yeah, you can use your own connection. There we go. So that's pretty much how to do it. The final thing that I wanted to show you today, which I'm loving at the moment, is what we covered yesterday, was that you can now build pretty much anything inside of AI Studio from Google. So I posted this out where yesterday we tried to actually build character AI. Here we go. In AI Studio in 50 minutes. So if we look at this, Google AI, I'll show you this demo. This was actually crazy. We're trying to get the back end wired up at the moment, but you can build a full character AI, which is like a multi-billion-dollar company. It does 600,000 a month, I think, in revenue. I want to say maybe more. But you can now build it inside of AI Studio. So it turns out you can actually build character AI inside of Google AI Studio in, I think this took about 50 minutes or so. So you have all of the, what they call companions or characters that you can click through. You can chat to them, obviously. Here we go. Then you can play, I think. So it's text to voice. Obviously it needs to be sped up a little bit, but.
Ah, a whisper across the silent aeons, a faint signal piercing the cosmic hum.
Okay, you could also, so remains, it keeps the chats. You could also do things like add a different persona to yourself. You can change the voice of the character. You can also create your own new character. So it'll actually generate an avatar for you. You want to say a male pastor, for instance. It will generate 3 for you, and then you can choose which one. This guy looks cool. Select it. We're going to say Dave Dave the pastor, a short tagline, helping let's say helping bring Christianity into your life. Okay, and then we can actually add tags and say Bible maybe, or religion, We can generate these two descriptions and the greeting. Voice, we don't want that. We want do deep, authoritative. And you have a personalized greeting. I think we can actually create the character now. We'll create that character. It goes in here, and we can chat to it. We could also do something like we can call Dave. Let's see what he says. Hey, Dave.
Hello. May your day be filled with grace and peace. How can I help you today?
I'm just feeling a bit lost in general. I'm looking to get closer to religion, so I'm looking for some guidance.
It's understandable to feel lost sometimes. Seeking guidance and connection through religion is a beautiful path. What aspects of Christianity are you most interested in exploring first?
So you hang up and it actually puts all the messages in chat for you too. That's pretty cool. I think this is, we could kind of pivot this into doing, I don't know, coaching, education, whatever it is. You could also add, I don't know, video generation to this person, so you can do that. You can maybe even do a live avatar of Dave, so you can actually have a face-to-face conversation, screen shares, whatever you want. But yeah, looks like Google AI Studio is absolutely cooking. Looking forward to Gemini 3 making it a whole lot better too. So that's without Gemini 3 being released. We do have Gemini 3 on the horizon, I think. The co-founder of Floweth found a way to actually test it. And let me just try and bring up the tweet. I just found it. Derek Floweth. Here we go. He says, here you go. Found a fun way to get early access to Gemini 3. Set up a browser agent to batch test prompts on LM Arena. So using the Floweth OS. Set up a browser agent automatically, since manual testing takes forever. Basically, you just test the same prompt, and then after a while, you get put into a model called Rift Runner. That's the new, apparently, rumor has it, the new Gemini 3, and you can actually create immense outputs with it. So they're spinning up multiple agents to go through LM Arena 20 chats at the same time until they get it. By the way, please vote manually, though. Floweth OS agents can pass Cloud4 checks and vote, but that would mess up Arena rankings.
Floweth OS. That's it. The agent, he'll blast out like 30 plus prompts straight to LM Arena. Boom, back to back. Then, you chill. Let him generate, score him, and bam, you've got your Gemini 3 model, the exact one you need. Now here's where it gets insane. Look at these SVG animations Gemini 3 pumped out. This stuff is absolutely nuts. So you just fire off your requirements.
Cool, isn't it? Okay, so here's the prompt. You're an automated test runner. Your task is to open 30 chats in bulk on LM Arena, asking the same question in each. The core workflows. Click the new chat button in the top left corner of the page. Send test prompts. Do not wait. After sending a prompt, immediately initiate a new chat. Here's the question you need to say. You're an SVG master. Now use SVGs to draw the world's famous painting Mona Lisa, make it extremely realistic, lifelike, and rich in detail. So you can actually go and play around with Gemini 3.0. Floweth OS is actually very good. He had some other good tweets this week. So just accidentally tested the new Grok 4 Fast yesterday, and wow, this thing is insane for agent workflows. It beats previous SOTA like Gemini 2.5 Pro, or running 2.5x, 2 to 5x faster, literally a tenth the cost. 2 million contacts too. We burned through millions of Gemini the last 6 months with Floweth. Might be time to switch. Everyone's distracted by Gemini 3 and Kimi K2 right now, but new Grok 4 is generally the most underrated model out there. The performance cost ratio is insane. Unreal. Okay, that's cool. Other use cases in here, you can use Floweth OS, basically like a agent browser, and it can do stuff for you. So let's say 100 jobs, 10 resumes, 30 minutes. Script use, OS crawls LinkedIn for 100 openings. Floweth Canvas, drag any job post in, connect your resume. context linking, pick any AI model to draft your cover letter, and compare all versions side by side. Automate the road to your dream offer. Okay.
To pull 100 job openings, and it compiles all the LinkedIn job descriptions and links into a single page. So it's much easier to navigate and browse through. When I see an opening that I am interested in, I just simply click the link to check the details on LinkedIn. And here comes the coolest part. You can literally just drag the LinkedIn page straight into the Flow with Canvas. It's so smooth and very instant. So you can continue working from there. So on my canvas, I have my original resume prepared. I just connect my resume with the job tab I just pulled in, and Flowit treats them as one coherent context. So from there, I can ask the AI to tailor a customized resume for this position, or even write me a cover letter based on both the job description and my existing resume. So after repeating this process for a few times, I end up with 10 customized resume and cover letters for 10 different roles. This used to take me about 2 days, but now it only takes me about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's the power of the Flowit ecosystem. Other browser use agents might help you complete a task and then stop there, but Flowit combines its operating system and the canvas, so you can have a space where all your information assets can live and evolve. If this helped you rethink your job hunting process, please tap like and subscribe for more Flowit hacks. I'll see you next time.
There you go. That's pretty cool. If you're actually building an AI browser, or if you wanted to give your AI agent browsing capabilities, then one great option for you is actually to use browserbase.com. They help AI use the web. You can autonomously read, write, and perform tasks on the web with a serverless browser. And they just actually released Stagehand v3, the best automation framework, which just launched. So Stagehand v2 took off with 500,000 weekly downloads, and now Stagehand v3 is out. So if you're building an agentic app and you want to give it browsing capabilities, go to browserbase.com. Okay, that is pretty much it for today. If you're looking to build kind of AI apps in general, if you want to build on the web for now and you want to do AI capabilities, I'd suggest using something like Google AI Studio, because you can get all the AI functionality. You can't add any backend at the moment, so that's not great, but I think that is coming soon. And then if you did want to build mobile apps, I'd advise going and using something like Create Anything. It's called anything.com, but you can go to, it's not anything.com, it's createanything.com. Let me just share it with you. Because you can actually create apps and then publish them directly to the App Store. The only thing you need is your words and your knowledge, and you can, in fact, just publish to the App Store. Here's what it looks like. Here we go. Type your words into mobile app sites and tools and products built with code. Add GPT-5 and 40 integrations in an instant. And 500,000 people are using it. You can see you've got a job search mobile app here. It's very easy. Makes integrations pretty easy. And yeah, one click deploy into the App Store. They actually have a pre-check thing too, where you can preview all of the things that usually get apps caught up in the application or the submission flow, where people are including the right language or the right documents or the right kind of wording or screens, etc. They're going to do a pre-check preview for you inside of Create Anything. So the chance of you getting access through to the App Store the first time goes right up. So yeah, give that a try. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you tomorrow at the same time, which is 2 p.m. CE.